Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you thought Chaos W was intense before, the massive update on June 25th just threw a massive bucket of gasoline onto an already raging fire. Valve made a bold, cutthroat move, compressing the entire ecosystem from 8 fragmented servers down to just 2 mega servers. What does this mean? The player base is hyper-concentrated, resources are scarce, and competition has reached a do-or-die level. And to detonate this powder keg, they've officially dropped Siege War, accompanied by a massive overhaul of the one-to-one trade system and the market to completely restructure the cross-wave economy. In today's few-minute breakdown, we're dissecting everything from A to Z, the ultimate strategy to get your guild into the top 6, how to navigate the new economy without going broke, and a crucial tip to maximize the chaos altar before its price skyrockets. Don't skip a single second if you want to stay ahead of the meta. Let's kick things off with the absolute crown jewel of this update. Siege War, the first ever historic battle, commenced on June 28th, but the real story isn't just the battle itself, it's the brutal survival rules required just to get a ticket to the dance. The system only allows the top 6 guilds with the highest ranking points on each server to register. Think about that for a second. Previously, across 8 separate servers, you had roughly 24 to 48 top-tier guilds ruling their respective domains. Now, shoved under one roof, 80% of those formerly big guilds are about to be wiped off the map. How do you grind guild ranking points at lightning speed? Your guild's ranking rests heavily on 3 core pillars. Guild contribution. This requires every single member to max out their daily guild quests. No slackers allowed. Total CP progression. The combined combat power of all 50 members. World boss participation. The PK and non-PK channel strategy. Thankfully, the developers through mid-tier guilds a lifeline by adding PK and non-PK channels to all hunting grounds maps. Pro tip for guild leaders: divide your guild into 2 task forces. Squad B, the grinders, should be ordered to camp 24/7 in the safe. Non-PK channels, the lower channels, to safely hoard resources and upgrade gear without fear of being ganked. Meanwhile, squad of the core combatants, whales, must occupy the top tier PK channel to secure elite mob spawns and world bosses to lock down Rag Goldmine. And what do you get for winning the castle? Fame, yes, but more importantly, the privilege ringer guard tier accessory with insane defensive stats and the right to collect market taxes from the entire server. It is an absolute goldmine. There's a subtle detail in the June 25th patch notes that many casual players glossed over: Wizard skill balance adjustments. Why did Valve buff and rebalance the Wizard class right before dropping Siege War? Because the meta has changed completely. In open world skirmishes, an assassin or a warrior can easily shred opponents with single target burst damage. But in Siege War, where hundreds of players are bottlenecked into tight castle gates or suffocating choke points around flags, the Wizard is an absolute tactical nuke. The latest adjustments focus on optimizing our damage scaling and reducing the cooldowns of crucial crowd control skills. Any competitive Siege War roster right now needs at least 30% of its army to consist of well-geared wizards for long-range owning. Battlefield formation. Position your warriors as a frontline meat shield. Have your assassins guard the flanks to pick off stragglers. And behind them, a backline artillery of wizards sensing. Their spells will create literal walls of fire and ice, completely halting the enemy's advance. If your guild lacks properly built wizards, you are going to get run over. Now, let's put our weapons down and talk about money. If you don't understand how to spend and earn under this new patch, you won't have the financial capital to maintain a competitive guild. Let's look directly at the notice of changes to the one-to-one trade system and trade market. Why did the developers pull the trigger on this reform? Previously, Chaos W's trade market was a bit of a Wild West. Exploitative players were using armies of bot clone accounts to farm materials, then using the one-to-one trade system or listing trash items at absurdly low or high prices to funnel red diamonds back to their main accounts. This caused artificial inflation and severely damaged the game's economy. Here are the core economic changes you must memorize. Strict price floors and ceilings price caps. Every item listed on the market now has a strict price corridor, determined by real system-wide market value. You can no longer sell a piece of junk for millions of diamonds. Enhanced rune image bug fixed. Previously, when you upgraded a rare rune to a high tier and listed it on the market, a visual bug made it look like a level 1 rune, scaring off buyers. Now, the enhanced glowing image displays perfectly at 100% accuracy, making the high-end rune trading market incredibly lucrative and transparent. Tightened one-to-one trade taxes. Direct player-to-player trading now calculates fees dynamically based on item rarity and the level gap between the 2 accounts. The takeaway for F2P and KCOOP players: Stop trying to bypass the system with shady alt account transfers. Instead, focus on farming legitimate rare materials, enhancing your runes to high tiers, and selling them transparently on the open market. This new economy actively protects the purchasing power of real, hard-working players. To survive the next wave of siege wars, your guild needs an immediate, explosive spike in combat power. The update provides two perfect avenues for this. 1. The Chaos Altar System. This is a server-wide lucky draw system. When you log in, the altar icon activates. The mechanic is simple. The system showcases 3 highly valuable items. You select one of the 3, and you roll for a chance to win. Urgent warning. Right now, during the launch window, the roll costs are heavily optimized. However, the developers explicitly stated, starting from the next maintenance, the required currency Vulcans Light will skyrocket to a massive 100,000 per draw. If you are hoarding Vulcan's Light, now is the golden window to go all in. Burn through your reserves today to pull red and orange gear before the price tag multiplies by next week. 2. Raids Tower Expansion to the 4th floor. If Floor 3 was a walk in the park for the server's top players, Floor 4 is a certified nightmare. The mobs here have significantly boosted evasion and critical hit stats, but the risk is worth it. This floor is currently the premier spot for dropping the specific crafting materials needed for specialized siege war gear and pristine rune cores. Make sure to use the improved Party Channel Sync feature so your 5-man squad lands in the exact same layer, preventing your members from accidentally spawning into a PK channel alone and getting ambushed. To tie everything together, this Chaos W update is a perfectly engineered ecosystem. Merging servers raises the stakes. Greater than Siege War gives you a purpose. Greater than the trade market reform stabilizes your assets. And new endgame floors give you the power to fight. To stand on the throne, your guild must be perfectly synchronized. You need strategic member allocation between channels, a smart economy setup, and the willingness to dump your Vulcan's Light into the chaos. Altar B for the massive price hike. What guild are you currently representing? And did you guys manage to secure a spot in the top 6? Let me know in the comment section below. If this comprehensive breakdown helped you plan your next move, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another high-tier Chaos W strategy guide. Best of luck on the battlefield, and I'll see you in the next video.